that was a really difficult session, I think, for the PM. Jeremy Corbyn finding his stride. I mean, he's had extraordinary material by the standards of any opposition leader now for a good few months, but he really deployed that today and made the PM look pretty uncomfortable, though, to be honest, that's just reflecting the situation of a split party waiting, it seems, merely for the next 2 weeks in order to vote down this, her most important achievement, which is the deal that has been done with the EU27 and the European Commission. There were precious few supporters on the ground with sort of easy questions about how, in the context of these numbers that you've just described, how her deal would mitigate some of the worst numbers relating to no deal. But perhaps that's because of two things. Firstly, actually her deal as described at the weekend was not actually modelled by the Treasury, which you can sort of deduce where it would lie roughly, but there isn't a specific line item. Chequers is in there, but Chequers has been rejected by the EU, and I've certainly been told by cabinet ministers that Chequers has gone from the political declaration, that that's not what business community has been said. But the other thing which was notable was the absence of the Chancellor, in particular from a follow-up urgent question on this issue just a few moments ago that we were playing. The Chancellor did not defend these calculations, left it to a junior minister, Mel Stride. You can see the strategy, Joe. The strategy in releasing these numbers is to try to say to people, to try and sort of refine the argument right now down to, basically, it's the deal that's on the table that's been agreed, or it's no deal, with disastrous implications as described by this document for the economy, but also for specific industries like cars and pharmaceuticals, industries that the United Kingdom has done very well with over the past few years. So, yes, a difficult session for the Prime Minister. There was a decent exchange of jokes, but it was a relaxed Jeremy Corbyn. And you see, I think, it accurately reflected what I think is going to be truly historic times over this vote in the next 2 or 3 weeks. The sorts of things people are contemplating, whether or not we'll get confidence votes, whether the Fixed Term Parliament Act provisions are activated, whether or not the Prime Minister can pull off the most extraordinary reversal and pull off a win in the face of the fact that so many of her own MPs aren't going to vote for it. The DUP say they're not going to vote for it. Ken Clarke, who said he was going to vote for it, sounded pretty doubtful again in the chamber just now. And their crucial aim, which was to turn 2 or 3 dozen Labour MPs to either abstain or back on the basis of wanting to avoid no deal, that is simply not working. I mean, one leading Labour MP told me that the number of Labour MPs that they feel will vote for this with the government, I thought it was in single figures. They say it's below 5. It may only be 2. So these numbers are going in the wrong direction. She needs a game changer. She did not get one from the summit at the weekend. And it doesn't look from that evidence that these numbers will be a game changer for her either.